My purpose in life is to spread freedom, free expression, free enterprise.
These young boys and young men are all being taught that this is the way things should be, to seek comfort and nice things. And where is the drive for excellence, the drive for higher purpose?
If you don't have a purpose, one that's clearly defined, then you got to start coming up with a purpose for yourself.
Come stand in a circle with a man twice your age who might already be grossing $1 million. Maybe he's got something you want.
Don't chase women, chase excellence, chase your purpose.
Within 12 months, your woman's going to look at you and say, look at what you've become.
Welcome to another episode of the Sovereign Man Podcast. I'm your man, Nicky Ballou. And we're here with Uncle Arpa. How's it going, Arpa?
Hey now. I'm doing well. How are you, brother?
Well, as you know, I'm just fucking recovering from beating COVID. I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm not going to lie. I felt like shit for the last 3 weeks. Absolute, total fucking shit.
Yeah, you're starting to look like you're back to your normal you.
Ho ho! All right. So, Uncle Arpa, today, brother, what we're going to be fucking doing is we're going to be talking about what it is to be a man, why a lot of men today don't know what that is, why there are a lot of men that are feeling lost, why it's important for us to do everything we can to teach as many men and show as many men the way to be a man, to be a good, strong, masculine man, why that's good for the world. And why someone listening to the show today can either benefit from this for themselves. If there's a man they have in their life who they know is feeling a little lost, they can share the show with them and they can help that man fucking get back to first principles of masculinity in manhood. Right on?
Right on.
All right. So, Arpa, what is it to be a man?
That's a good question, brother. And for me, the thing that speaks to being a man the most is you need to be a man who can take care of your family and fulfill, a life's purpose. A man needs a purpose. And if you don't have a purpose, you're just...
you're fucked, basically, right?
Yeah. I would think you're just stuck in limbo, possibly, relying on some feminized,
bullshit.
Yeah. Looking. I don't know. When I was in my younger self, I was always searching for a purpose, and now that I got one, I'm rocking. I'm happy. Where I'm at. I'm happy with where I've been, and I like where I'm going. When I compare myself to who I was 10, 15 years ago to where I think I will be in the next 10 to 15 years, I'm happy, man. I'm glad with that.
Yeah. Amen. I think for me, that's been exactly correct as well. So my purpose in life really is to spread freedom, man. Freedom, free expression, free enterprise. And a big part of that is to help men embrace freedom, free expression, and free enterprise. And they can't do that if they don't embrace first principles of being a man. And for me, it's a big reason why you and I created the Sovereign Man movement and we created a Sovereign Man podcast, is because it's very important to help men. Now, there's a lot of men who are doing this sort of work. My good buddy Ryan Mickler in the Order of Men, he's got a great movement going on. But Ryan and I had a chat one day and I said, dude, if there were even 10,000 men like you, it wouldn't be enough. And he just looked at me and he goes, you're right. There's just there's just too many men who need help. There's no cannibalization nest that's going to happen. Like me doing my work doesn't take away from the work a man like Ryan does, or a man like Andy Frisella or Sal Frisella do, a man like Larry Hagner from Dad Edge do. All those things. All those men can keep doing their work, and we got to keep doing our work. And we all have a different take on it. So the way I say it may appeal to a man that the way Ryan says it won't appeal to, or vice versa. And that's the important thing. I think that there's a lot of young men today who've been basically bamboozled with bullshit, Arpa. You know what I mean? All this toxic masculinity bull crap is something that unfortunately a lot of men have internalized. And there's men out there who even call themselves fucking feminists. So what's that all about?
Oh, dude. So it's my firm belief, and this is my belief. It's not law. It's my belief that our education system in our country, specifically, growing up and going through that education system, is doing our young men an injustice. It is devised and controlled by
crazy motherfuckers.
Well, I was going to say the feminized people in our society, and I don't mean just women. I'm not here to blame women for how our education system is, because
absolutely not.
It's not. They're not the only ones to blame. There's plenty of leaders that are men.
Plenty of men who fucked it up, right?
Yeah,
it's the truth.
Yeah, but they've allowed it, and I don't know, man. Maybe it's vote whoring. Selling out just
vote whoring. Holy shit! I've never heard that one before. That's good.
No.
Oh
man,
that's good. Vote whoring. Nice.
That's got to be at least I would say 80% of our political figures that run for office are nothing but vote whores. Just selling out
more than that, bro.
Any vote they can get.
Try 98%.
Yeah,
it's true.
I was trying to be kind there, buddy.
Don't be kind. Be accurate.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think is going on. And they're buying into this feminized stuff because I think these young boys and young men are all being taught that this is the way things should be. To seek comfort and nice things, and not really being hugely concerned with the hard work, is really ruining our fabric of society, of what made our country great to begin with. Our country was built on a lot of hard work, and nowadays it's being shown as like peasant work, and it's not good work to do, but it needs to be done, and that's the thing that's missing. Like, men used to do what needed to be done. The beaches of Normandy were stormed by men who needed to do what needed to be done, and that's being lost. Men are out there looking for. Fuck, man, there's men getting their nails done at spas and shit. It's like
crazy ass shit,
what?
Bro.
But yeah, it's like what are you doing now? Okay, if you're a man that's gay and whatever, I understand it, but the bulk majority of men like that shouldn't be you. Kids now, and Timbit soccer, and I'm not trying to hate Tim Hortons and the whole soccer and hockey programs they do, but every kid comes home with the trophy, the same trophy. But where is the drive for excellence, the drive for higher purpose? Like, what are we teaching these kids? Like it's tough. And I'm believe me, I'm a man that, when I grew up, my old man put me into some sports and shit, and I wasn't good. It wasn't what I wanted, where I wanted to be, but I still learned, the lesson about competing and being a good winner and a better loser, because losing is where the lessons are, and you can't win without losing a fuckload, right? And that's when everyone walks away with the same trophy, no matter how hard they work or how soft they work, they come back with the same trophy. Like, what's the lesson you're teaching these kids? And these men are growing up, and they've lost that direction, because I firmly believe, men are like horses. When 2 or 3 horses start running in a direction, they all start racing with each other, and that's just instinct. And I think men are like that. We'd like to look at other men that are slightly more successful and say, I want to be like that. I want a piece of that. And I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it with a lot of the younger men that I have in my business that stand around our circles. It's I look at them and I scratch my head, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you still living at your parents' house?
For some people, it's a cultural thing. I mean, in my culture, I'm a Middle Eastern culture. You don't leave the house till you get married. That's just how it is, right? Um, and
Yeah, I get that.
But I think the larger point you're making is that these men are not showing up in such a way that has them be self-sufficient, sovereign men, independent men, right? And that's why we created the sovereign man movement. It's about having men be sovereign. So sovereignty is around being financially sovereign, right? You got to make enough money to take care of yourself. Now, if you're from that culture that you don't leave the house till you get married, you should be working once you've finished school and all that, and you should be helping your parents out. You should be giving them 30% of your paycheck every month to help them out with expenses. I think that's just like that's what a man should do if that's your culture. But
so, my culture is the same thing. I'm Italian, and we don't leave the house until we're married. Like, and that was like house rules, whatever. And that's all fine and dandy. And I'm not saying the men out there that are listening and say, "Oh, my parents don't want me moving out and spending all that money." No, they don't want you spending that money on frivolous shit like, luxury cars and fucking, hotel stays and trips. Like, that's not what they want you to do. Save the money, start investing. You need to be able to not just take care of yourself, but if you're living with your parents, you should take advantage of that and start building your nest egg. Because, the housing market, especially here in Canada is it's messed up. Like every few years, like homes are going up 30, 40 points. Like it's hard to get ahead, and if you're not putting a good amount of that money aside, you're never going to get into it. And then when your parents, move on or looking at downsize, because Lord knows you can't keep that same pace going forever. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, no, what are you going to do is exactly right. So, like, as a man, if you're like listening to this right now, you got to be asking yourself. So, first of all, do I have a fucking purpose, right? And if you don't have a purpose, one that's clearly defined, then you got to start coming up with a purpose for yourself. And a purpose isn't handed onto you from Almighty on high. A purpose is something you pick. It's something you choose, right? You can change your purpose over the course of your life. You're not stuck with it for the rest of your life, but you got to have it because it's what's going to guide you. It's what's going to push you forward. It's what's going to make you the kind of man that people are going to go, wow, I can count on that man. I can rely on that man. I want to be around that man. There's a man named Richard Cooper, and he's got a podcast called Entrepreneurs in Cars, and he primarily deals with single men. And here's how he said it. He said, look, don't chase women, chase excellence, chase your purpose, because what women do is they look for the winners in life. So they just go to the finish line and they go hang out with the winners. Yeah. And that's the truth, man. If you're a man who's, right now, young man wondering, hey, how am I gonna be out there? How am I gonna get good woman in my life? How am I going to get women? How am I going to get the interest of women? And let's be honest, for men, we do what we do because we want the admiration of women. Whether you're a single man, whether you're in a relationship, you want your wife's admiration. You want the admiration of a woman that you would like to date you, or if you're in the stallion phase of your life, you'd like the admiration of a woman you'd like to take to bed. You still want that admiration. And the whole point is that for you to freaking get that, you got to have a purpose. She's not going to admire some loser who's got no purpose. No woman is. Like, women are attracted to the masculine essence, the masculine polarity in a man, right? So
yeah,
those are my thoughts on that.
I like how Stefan says it in
Stefan Arnio, yeah.
Yeah, and hard times create strong men. He goes, purpose is a very simple thing for a man. It's your work. Work is your purpose. You do your job. You do your work with excellence to gain the trust of your fellow men and your community around you. And then once you've done that, then you can draft a purpose. So if you're a man out there and you're listening to this and you're like, fuck, man, I don't know what my purpose is. Look at whatever, if you have a job, your purpose is to do that job with excellence.
Excellence.
If you don't have a job, go out there and get the first fucking job you can grab. Get that job, do it with excellence, and compete with your fellow employees to achieve that excellence. Not because you're trying to hose your boss for a raise or some shit. Because take some fucking pride in what you do and do it right. Because that's what men do. We strive to be the best. Be the best at whatever job you've got. Once you've got to a certain level of success doing your job, if you're not happy with the returns that you're getting or what it's fulfilling, at least you've got a base that you're starting off. Now you can climb that ladder. Then go look for a job at a different place, a different career path, or pivot. You want to be self-employed? Go out there and start it. But you have to start somewhere, and you start that by learning how to be excellent, at another place of work. I don't know very many men that come off, out of high school as, an entrepreneur that's, making $1 million that quickly. Like all my friends, we all started working for someone else. We all ate shit for 5 to 10 years before we could turn around and bring in a steady income. So if you're looking to go out there and be in a business that's going to gross $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, I'm telling you, from my experience and from what I've witnessed from my friends, you got 5 to 7 years of sacrifice and eating shit before you can turn around and get the nice things. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Just be sure that tunnel's fucking dark.
There's a lot of truth to what you said. Now, look, we know some men like, Justin Georgopoulos, first year out in business, he went out there, he kicked some ass, he made up $450,000 in gross sales. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at, but Justin Georgopoulos is not the norm. Justin Georgopoulos is that outlier dude who you see out there who just like shoots himself out of the gate. And if you aim to be that man, kudos, more power to you. But if you're not that man, that doesn't mean you're a fucking failure. That just means your path is going to be one with more obstacles at the beginning. And sometimes even dudes like Georgopoulos who go out there and make a lot of money really quickly, they got other shit that they got to deal with. It might not be money that really is the obstacle and the adversity that they're dealing with, but they've got other shit they got to deal with. So just keep all that in mind, okay? You don't need to have this belief that I'm going to fucking achieve so much quickly, and if I don't do it, that means I'm a loser. Tony Robbins said this once, and I think he's bang on. He said, people overestimate what they can accomplish in a year, and they underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years.
I agree. I think that's very well said.
Yeah, it is really well said. It is really well said.
For men, for those men that are listening, if you don't have a job, get a job. If you have a job, strive for excellence. Strive for excellence. And that's got nothing to do with how much you get paid. It's about you as a man and your standards. It's how you live. It's how you operate. It's excellence. That's what we do. And excellence, striving for excellence is about doing your best and not perfection, right? You got to go out there and be the best version of you at all times as you can be, and that's the goal. And once you can achieve some sort of level of excellence, and then you want to pivot, then pivot. But don't go out and try and change the world off the hop. You gotta earn your stripes. It's a shitty message, because I know, like, coming out of college and shit, like, we all have hopes and dreams, and that shit takes time. It takes work. And you got to start at the bottom. That's the unfortunate reality. But there are many of lessons to be learned. And some of the best is when you have a supervisor or superior who's going to send her over you and say, hey, man, you might want to try something a little different, or at least experiment on someone else's dime. Because that's really what you're doing when you're striving for excellence in someone else's business. You're testing stuff out on their dime.
Yeah, amen. And listen, if you're working for yourself, you got your own business, kudos, then you got to strive for excellence in that environment. That's the bottom fucking line. That's the bottom fucking line. You got to do that. So look, Arpa, we here at Sovereign Man, we run a number of programs for men to really fucking help them. And I think one of the things that as a man, every man needs is he needs a brotherhood. He needs men he can count on. They're going to kick his ass, tell him the truth, and get him out of his freaking comfort zone. So one of the programs we're running is called Battle Ready. The next one's starting at the end of January. If you're a man right now and you're looking for something, you're looking for a group of men to really help push up your self-belief, your level of masculinity, your level of purpose-driven lifeness, then what we recommend you do is you go to our website, sovereignman.ca, look for the Battle Ready program, check it out. You can sign up for it right there, or just reach out to us. There's tons of ways to find me. I'm available on fucking social media, or you can, quite frankly, just send a message to me through Facebook or whatever, and just say, hey, you'd like to chat. I'm happy to have a conversation with you about Battle Ready and why it's a fucking fantastic program for you as a man to help you rediscover your purpose.
Yeah, I think, and if a man doesn't have a circle of masculine men that will tell him the ugly truth, like, definitely come check us out. That's what we're about. We're not about cutting a man down. We're about building men up, making men strive for excellence, get out there and compete with your fellow man and win. And
iron sharpening iron, right?
Yeah. I hate to say, because it sounds like I'm gloating and stuff, but that's not what I'm doing. But Blue, when I look around, the circles that we create, like, these are men that are winners. Yeah, winners. And the longer they stick around, the more they win. And it just happens to be what it is. Who was it that said, like, if you want to see what your kids will grow up, just look to their friends? Someone said a quote similar to that. Yeah. And being in Battle Ready and on one of our teams, that's another thing that it does. It gets you into that area where your men become these winners that will pull you up, and you become a winner. So, for men, if you're young, in your early 20s and you're still trying to sort your shit through, come stand in a circle with a man twice your age, who might already be grossing $1 million. Maybe he's got something you want,
or maybe he's got a relationship that's kicking ass, and that's what you want, whatever it is. Or maybe his health, he's 45, 50 years old and he's still in fantastic shape, and you want to figure out how you can keep that up for the long term. Or maybe he's just fucking confident, he's got balls, and you want to live that way as a man, and you want to look to him and say, hey man, I fucking want to be that man. So all of that can help you out.
Yeah. And awesome. You don't have to lose your circle of friends with that either. One of our pillars, is confidentiality. Everything's in confidence. Stays within that circle, and you never have to worry about that. Man. So the idea is we bring you men in, and then within 12 months, your woman's going to look at you and say, look at you, what you've become. We want her to be just as excited with the work that you do as you. And if you're a single man, you should be able to prance around like a horse and attract all kinds of mirrors.
Man, you're crazy. Crazy bastard, Arpa. All right. That's a fucking wrap for this week's episode. We'll catch you men on the flip side.
Thank you for listening to the Sovereign Man podcast. If you're ready to take charge of your life and become the man you've always wanted to be, we invite you to join the movement at sovereignman.ca.